Right, so I wanted to make this quick video real quick, and I can add this to the series of, you know, the one that I did a while ago about how time heals all wounds, and it just simply add to the fact that just the like getting away from these these things that we was raised to believe, the falsehoods of some of the things that we was raised to believe, and the reality of the matter is that we have to get out of this mindset that it's supposed to just heal itself. I can say, especially when it comes to relationships, oftentimes one of the biggest mistakes that many couples make is to, when there's wrongs or one of the members feel like there's been wrong done or harm done, is when it comes to emotional scars that they don't heal by themselves. And we have to get out of this mindset to just let bygones be bygones. Because when it comes to emotional scars, is that until we acknowledge and address those things that was done, it's going to always be there. And then people wonder why they have these emotional triggers or they have these emotional hangups. That's why 10, 15, 50, 100 years from now that they're always able to use, for instance, the whole issue of race as a bait and as a trigger, because when there's wrong done and people fail to acknowledge and people fail to attempt to fix those wrongs, that they're going to always be a trigger. They're going to always be a tool that they can use to get the reactions of the harm that has been done, because they've never truly attempted to right those wrongs or to right the harm that was done. And so, again, I say that that's why it's so very important for us to acknowledge it, to accept it, and to address those things that is there, because they don't go away. You see what I'm saying? They don't disappear. And above all, they don't fix themselves. And so until we get real with those issues, until we get real with what needs to be addressed, they're going to always be there. And the sad reality of the fact is that something so small can be the source or reason to end or to bring a end to something so amazing. It's because it's going to always be there. See what I'm saying? And so in order for you to even let it go or let it be, you have to address it. And you have to understand that those things have to be put on a table, and serious discussions have to happen if you're looking to move forward. If this nation is looking to move forward, then we must admit and address and acknowledge the harm done, and then we can move on, hopefully in a more productive way, and write those things, especially when there's promises and an issue of race per se, that those things that was promised that was never fulfilled, or those wrongs that was done, and there was never any apologies from the government. Many people don't understand that part of the agreement was the 40 acres and a mule, and so it's going to always be there. And comparable to like you're dangling a carrot in front of a horse that you know that horse will never be able to ever grab hold of, is the same thing when it comes to the race and the reparations that was promised that was never there. And so you'll much rather keep people in a state, in a docile state, in order to stand on what's been owed. And so it's the same way when it comes to the emotion and the emotional states of many people is that there's wrongs that's been there or been done, and yet people feel like they don't have to acknowledge it or they don't have to address it. and then one or two things happen or whatever. Um, I either turn to hatred or strong dislike, or those people end up just leaving because that's not living, that's not life, whatever. And so acknowledge it, remember, acknowledge it before you're even able to accept it, and then release it. It's a process. Thank you for watching.